about boxing.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Lost Art of Boxing. Man, you're here with your host, Q the God. Man, and today, man, I got a special guest. Man, I hit up. Man, he responded right back to me. Man, one of the hardest working men out here in the boxing community. Man, Ohio runs boxing. You know what I mean?
What's good? What's
Yes,
good,
sir.
man? I'm
What's good with you, man?
glad to be on here, man. Showing love, man. I'm gonna definitely do that.
Man, hell yeah, man. I appreciate the love. I done been on other panels with you. Able to chop it up with you a few times. You know, we had
Hmm.
our look here and there. But today I just want to kind of get more in depth with you on a few things that I just had about Ohio boxing, because you know, like you one of the people that like uh, put Ohio on the map as far as like putting some of the talent out there and pretty much uh, being a promoter. You know what I mean? In some
Hmm.
of these guys' cases, because a lot of people really don't promote themselves in boxing, and
Right.
you one of the reasons why a lot of these people get seen. You one of the reasons why I seen got on to a lot of fighters coming out of that state, like Abdullah Mason, Tiger Johnson, uh, and one of the most recent that some people still not talking about, Dante Benjamin Jr.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so like just go on and tell me like what made you want to start the moniker Ohio Runs Boxing.
Uh, I appreciate you. Giving me that introduction, man, and noticing my work. And I have chopped it up with you, and so many people inbox me, and I get messages from all over, man. So people don't understand how my inbox looks sometimes because so many people have questions. You should see my inbox about Broner right now. It's crazy. So uh I appreciate that. But what started me to the Ohio run boxing scene, man, I started to notice that a lot of our fighters in our state, not even our fighters, but our fans in the state, were just talking about other fighters from other states. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute. They don't know how special our state is. They really don't know how gifted, and from years and years of consistency, our boxing our fighters has been in the mix, title contenders or champions. And I wanted to create a platform where I talked about the amateurs, the past, present, and now. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk about that, and I didn't know it was going to get as big. So that's why it's different from me and other people who start their podcasts and start. They do it for follows and subscribers. I did this straight off the heart and passion, man, because I loved it, and I actually wanted people to uh, our state to embrace our fighters. If we take care of home first, everything else will play its part. So I wanted to actually just focus on these fighters and our legends and make them be proud of something, man. A lot of people leave; they don't like being here. You know, I get it in Ohio, but I wanted to make something, create something where they were proud of. You know what I mean? And I hope I did a good job at that. I get a lot of love and support from the fighters. They do appreciate that, and fans, man. So it was definitely when you look at from the outside looking in, I'm the one working, so I never look at it, but I get it all the time. Guys is like, man, just coming up with that name, like it was so catching. No one really thought of that. No one think it was controversial in a way. But one thing about me, I show love to everybody. Rashidi Ellis, shout out to him. He's from Massachusetts. I show a lot of love to other fighters too, so they appreciate it because they see the loyalty and the consistency. They don't never see me change my stance. I'm always supporting guys, but I also call them out on their BS. But the platform in itself is a blessing, man, to be able to create something like that because it's not about me; it's about them. It's not an individual thing. It's actually a logo that symbolized everybody that put in the blood, sweat, and tears to wear those gloves, man. So that's what that was pretty much was about.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Man, I know it's so many people like. So, what was like the person, or did you see? Was it a time like when did you start? When did you start your channel and start like pushing Ohio runs boxing?
Good
Uh,
question. Very, very good question. This was actually at an Adrien Broner event in Cincinnati.
mm,
It was when Broner. I started to look at his undercard and I started to see the fighters. and I was like, wow. And I was it was Robert Easter on the undercard, Rasheed Warren, and this was in Cincinnati. I forgot what fight it was, but I think it's when he fought wow, it had to be around 2012 or 11. I know it was around there. But I was looking at the crowd and I was just looking at Adrien Broner set this torch and seeing the talent that we had at that moment. I was just like, wow. And I thought about the fighters. I thought about Buster Douglas, Kelly Pavlik, and I started thinking about all the fighters. And I was like, man, Ohio runs boxing. So that's where it came from. Just seeing the undercard and seeing all the fighters that was from Ohio. That was Ohio. Ohio was an Ohio card pretty much, and then knowing that Al Heyman from Cleveland is was the man. Don King was the man. So that's where it's everybody involved in boxing. It's not just the fighters. That's where that Ohio runs boxing.
Yeah.
Really, Al Heyman really hit the head on there with the. For him being from Cleveland, because my aunt used to date his brother, so there's some ties that's in there. So that's another thing.
Yeah, okay. So the Ohio runs boxing, like with that, man, like it's setting a statement pretty much in boxing that Ohio runs boxing. Now that's just something easy to just say. A lot of people say New York run boxing, Cali run boxing, Texas
Right.
run boxing, but I done seen you state facts list in so many different things of why Ohio runs boxing.
Yeah.
And that just like shit, you kind of right. If you really can't find nobody to put up that argument. Now, so you started it then and you saying that, but you have to go back and do your history and
Absolutely
unwrap so many different things. So when did not just the name, the actual like, man, this really facts and nobody can debate it, is Ohio really won boxing? When did you come with like that? You like, damn.
When did I come? Yeah,
like,
that's a good man. This is a good question. It was more about once I put the name out there and I started, like I said, it was the history. It was going all the way back to Jack Johnson. That's far. That's far. And you can't get no farther than that. And Jack Johnson at that time, I definitely would have been rooting for Jack. You already know I would have been rooting for Jack because of what he was fighting for and what he was standing for. And they definitely, it was about skiing. It wasn't about where he was from at that time. But they went and got a guy out of retirement to beat Jack. And they felt like he was the first real great white hope. But guess where he was from? Ohio. So I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, you can't make that shit up.
It was a guy from Carroll, Ohio, that they felt was the great white hope that can beat Jack. That was who they felt that can challenge. And Jack beat him. So you know what I'm saying? So I didn't make this stuff up. This is just what history is telling us. Now Jack won, don't get me wrong, and I'm glad Jack did that. That was big, and at that time, man, for all us being black African Americans, man, that was huge for us. So, but it was just those statistics. Is when I go way back and I see those, I just laugh, and it's a check mark. Okay, check mark. Okay, Olympians. We one of the smallest states in America, and for us to have. We're tied with California with the most Olympians since the Olympic Games began. That's 24. It's only been 25 Olympic Games since 1905, I believe, or something like that. But we have 24 Olympians. California has 24. They're bigger. So we understand that
they like the third biggest state, right?
Facts. Texas and Cali is bigger. So certain statistics is definitely going to favor them because they're more bigger. But what makes us so amazing is that we're small and our statistics is damn near the same with them. For example, let's just look at the titles now. Texas is hot. See, I'm a realist. I don't sit there and try to play it, act like, oh, this ain't happening or, downplay. No, Texas is hot right now when it comes to boxing and their fighters. Earl got 3 belts. We got
Charlo.
He's undisputed. That's what 7 belts, just them 2 alone, right?
Bam, you got Bam.
Did he become a champion?
Bam, yeah, he a champion at 115. His brother just got elevated at 115 too. Got a Strata belt, so that's 9.
That's 9. Hold on, and then you got Jamal. Jamal.
Jamal. Yeah, that's 10.
That's 10. That's 10 straps, right? That's 10 That's Texas. And we just named about 4 or 5 fighters, right?
Yeah, that's 3 different states too.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
3 different cities. 3 different cities. My bad. 3 different
No. I
cities
was
in one
I
state.
was focusing on Texas.
Yeah. We saying Texas, but 3 different cities: Dallas, Houston,
Oh
San Antonio.
yeah. Absolutely. But that's the state of Texas alone. Just the
Facts. State
state.
of Texas.
Right. That's 10. That's 10 belts. 2 fighters got 6 titles in Ohio to their 10. And I'm only mentioning 2 fighters. That's Adrien Broner and Sean Porter. Sean just retired. That's 6 straps just with those 2 guys, former champions. You see what I'm saying? So that alone just is showing you what we are capable of and how brilliant that is. Now, Texas is hot right now. And that's why I tell some people get it confused too, because they say, well, Texas run boxing. I said, guys, I get it. But see, one thing about y'all, I always look at the bigger picture. Texas don't always have consistency like this. Look how long it's taken since Texas got these fighters like this. Now, can they become consistent? Yeah, but it's not easy. And you can't always base you running boxing just on the moment, because everybody don't stay on top. It's about the consistency that people don't pay attention to. It's who's the top guys coming out of Texas that y'all say that's gonna be Earl? Like, I can name you all our amateurs. We got amateurs right now and a real deal that then won 10 national championships in one gym. That's one gym.
One gym.
Done. That's never been done. You know what I'm saying? So we got Ron Williams out of Toledo. I think he's the top prospect, the top kid in the Ohio when it comes to he's on the USA team now, but he's one of the top kids. Then you got Nolan. You got Nolan Huntley. You got Nolan Huntley. I mean, I can go on and on about.
What about what's up with the young boy, the pretty boy? What's his name? Wayne Lawrence, the young kid.
My boy. Oh yeah. Wayne. Wayne remind me so much of myself. Wayne is pretty boy Bam Bam. He remind me of so much of myself because you have the world by your hands and you don't take advantage of that opportunity. I think his dad, I don't know what happened, but they had the momentum. They had Floyd. They had Helen. They was on ESPN. They was on all these shows. And remind you, this is another history statistic. He's the first kid that went viral on boxing. He's the first kid to went viral on social media from Toledo. So I don't know what happened. I think the eyes got too big, or the pressure got too big for them, and they slowed down, whatever it was. And I talk to Wayne all the time. So we're gonna have more. I'm gonna talk to him more about that, because I always felt like I had opportunities to shoot through YouTube. I didn't. I had opportunities to sit there and shut the state down, where you had to go through me to get interviews from fighters from Ohio. Like, and that's just being real. It's not.
Is it still like that now? You get people that hit you.
No.
I mean, not like really like that, but you get people that hit you up first and ask you about a fighter. Like, man, give me that introduction. And
that's you know what? That's actually dope, and it's humbling, because they recognize the work you do. I actually started getting finders fees because the guys, matchmakers, were hitting me up, and I actually go to the fighters. I just had Don King's daughter. Shout out to Deborah. I didn't even know he had a daughter. So I'm just getting. I didn't even know he had a daughter, and she's putting on a show August 27th in Warren, Ohio. And again, did not know he had a daughter, and they hit me up. Like I said, their team hit me up and was like, "Hey, we hear you. You know where all the talent is. Don is a little bit he's not in the sport
in the loop like that.
Yeah, he's not in the loop like that. So it's like, we coming to you, man. Who we need to get on the card? Who this and who there? So and they also have the connects too. So they was recommended to me, and that was dope, man. And me telling them and breaking stuff down. So yeah, I definitely do have people who come to me and ask questions, especially about Ohio. And I think it's respect. I think you're supposed to, not in the way you're supposed to, but in a way, if you respect the game and you seen what I've been doing, it only makes sense. Hey, this dude from Ohio, Marcus, man, tell us about him, man, because I'm thinking about betting on him tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would be honest with him. I'm like, he's been a little in and out of the gym, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm gonna bet that much on him. I put 20. I'm gonna be real. Like, that's one thing people respect me for. I keep it real, man. I never let my emotions overtake my my decision making. I just never do that. Never let that happen, man. That's really important when you're a boxing journalist and you covering the sport and you're doing different things. You don't let that. Be honest. Be straight up. You know what I mean? So we just had an incident like that yesterday. Saturday. We had an incident like that Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about that. You talking about the thing? I seen Devin Haney, that video with Devin
Oh yeah,
Haney
that
in
was.
the promotion thing, or what are you talking about?
Oh well, yeah, that was part of it, but it was more about the Tony Victor
Big
Tony. He had
Tony.
he fought Troy Isley. He fought Troy
Mm-hmm.
out of, he's an Olympian, and that's another
Mm-hmm.
Youngstown versus Olympian matchup. I like those type of fights, man. But I felt like I thought Troy, not Troy, but Victor. That's my dude. I'm from Youngstown, so he's from my neck of the woods. I thought he won 2 rounds. Uh, I didn't think he did enough to win the fight. So after it was over, I had, Troy. I thought Troy won 4-2. You know what I mean, 6 rounder.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people from both sides. I had people from Virginia talking crazy, and then I had people from Ohio. They were so biased that they were saying that Vic won. And I'm like, what? Vic didn't win the fight. Vic
He it
could have
didn't
did
he didn't he didn't make it look so. I'll say Vic made it hard for Troy,
absolutely.
but he didn't capitalize on the difficulties he was giving him, like a lot of
There
them
you go.
counter opportunities and things like that. And I probably what a lot of people don't even know, like Vic Tony, like James Tony's second cousin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he actually fought Fondora.
Yep, Fendora.
So
They fought him in Las Vegas. That was his only loss, and that's why I was telling people, no, Troy is not knocking Victor out. So people, he gonna knock.
mm-hmm.
No, I even had guys commenting saying that it was really weird. Hey, he would have knocked him out. Nah, no, he wouldn't have knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
He did start touching him a little bit in the 5th round. He started
Mm-hmm.
touching Victor a little bit more than he did early rounds. But again, the point I brought that up was that you still got guys that are so biased and connected to these fighters that they just cheer them on and say they did great when they really didn't do that good. Or, Troy people saying, oh, he put in work tonight. And I'm like, no, if you ask Troy, he'll tell you that
Yeah.
he was a little frustrated.
Yeah, you ask Kate Karama,
He
he'll tell
didn't
you
feel
the
like he
same
put
thing. Yeah, he was. I
right.
heard
He'll
him in
tell you
the corner talking to him. He ain't like
yeah.
how he was
So it's
doing
like,
it when using the jab.
yeah. So it's like I'm not hating. I have people from Virginia I had to block because they thinking man, it was a female. I actually said she follows me, and I never seen her comment on anything of mine, bro. Never, and that's cool too. Some people don't have to comment, but if you don't engage with me like that, and then you come in and you for your first debate, and then you name calling, you're gonna be exited out. I don't even know. You're gonna be exited out easy because first of all, she even had got to the point where she was like, I've shared some of your posts, and then I'm like, you shared some of my posts because I said I don't even know you. I said, you ain't never responded to none of my stuff before because she took my post and she shared it saying that I needed to go in the ring and box. It's too many people talking. And, she was really saying her own opinion. It was crazy. But my thing is when I responded, she was like, oh, you don't never respond to my stuff. I was like, you don't never comment on my stuff. So I'm just responding to what you said. You said I need to be a boxer. I need to get in the ring. And I said, all that stuff don't mean nothing. When you agree with me, I know boxing. The moment you disagree, I don't know
You
nothing
don't know
about
shit
boxing.
about boxing. They go Mayweather, they go Roger Mayweather on your ass. You disagree with
Right.
their ass. Motherfucker don't
But
know
see,
shit about boxing.
I can take the heat though. I can take the heat. But my thing is once you start name calling and everything, you can't even have an intelligent conversation. I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? It was simple. It was a simple block. And then the post before that, she posted Troy saying, my bro, good win, bro. See, there's a relation. You was trying to hide that. You was trying to hide that you didn't know him. And just being honest, I'm arguing with Ohioans about Vic not winning. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm trying to be real here. It's like, I'm not speaking on this fantasy or this biased concept that a lot of these guys do. That's another thing too I hate. You're from Ohio. That's why you're taking up for Broner. Like, you're from Ohio. That's like, no, y'all gonna throw that up to me. That's part of the platform that I built. I understand people gonna do that, but let's keep it real. Like, I call a spade a spade. Uh, that's just me. I call a spade a spade. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So how often do that happen though? Do that happen a lot with people from Ohio when you get people that lose? Because I remember talking to you. I think you said somebody from Ohio, like on a smaller card, was fighting somebody from DC or something, and they just had to tell you they beat the guy from Ohio, like they
Oh
hit you
yeah,
in the
that was
inbox. Like,
funny. Yeah, that happened in Pittsburgh, man. That was a dope experience, man. That's when I started. I did not. That was the first time I went to PA for boxing. I never really didn't go to PA for anything, to be honest. But I was in Pittsburgh, and the love I got there was crazy. I didn't know, and this at the time my Instagram followers was like 2,000. Still had my Facebook page, but I didn't have my Ohio Run Boxing actual page, so I didn't know how much attention my brand was getting. You get what I'm saying? So when I got there, they showed so much. Like I met so many people that I didn't know who knew me. It's kind of weird, man. It's I'm reading journalists like, oh, Marcus, I know who you is, and I'm like, okay, what's your name? I don't know who you are. You know what I mean? So that was the interactions I was having with a lot of people. But when the fighter won, Eric, his name was Eric Gomez, Eric Lomax. Let me correct myself. He's from out of Philly. He won. I didn't even know he knew me. So when he won, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, he beat my boy, he a journeyman. He already had about more than 9 losses. He went looking for me. You know what I'm saying? He's screaming. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Good win.
He asked for the hat.
He looked for the hat, bro. Where that hat at? You know what I'm saying? And he started pointing at me, and then his crowd going roaring, and I was like, what? So in the back of the locker room, I gave him love, and I showed him love. He came to talking to me, and he actually gave me props. Like, man, I follow you. What you do with your Ohio fighters, man. It's like when I knew I was fighting somebody, I was geeked up because I knew he was from Ohio, and I had to really prepare. So I'm like, dude, you supposed to prepare for fights anyway. So you really prepared because you knew you was fighting somebody from Ohio. Just listen to yourself. You know, that just goes to show you that I promoted these guys pretty good for you to get that amp and that pump, you know, training like it's a world title fight. That was dope. And I remember him, I gave him an interview, and he was like, he's like, yeah, man, I beat Ohio. And I said, look,
he said I beat Ohio.
Yeah. He said, I beat Ohio. Now listen, it's still love because I love talking junk too. I know how to counter really good. So I said, man, you beat Ohio fighter. And I said, it's not just boxing. I said, you know, we run everything. He said, I don't know about all that. I said, what outfit you wearing right now? And he looked down. I said, yeah, Dayton, Ohio. He made your outfit. He started busting out laughing. You said, you know what I'm saying? I said, bro, you still gonna need us at the end of the day. Stop playing with me.
Yo, real talk. Yeah, for real. That's
hey, bro, he bust out laughing. He ain't nothing to say because Aaron Harris did his outfit. Shout out to Aaron. He does a good job with those costumes, bro. Those boxing outfits. He does a great job with that. So shout out to Aaron. I always try to show him love because he's part of the brand. Definitely part of the brand. So yeah, Eric can tell you he was dying laughing when I hit him with that one. I said, "You look nice, man.
yeah.
Where you get that fit from?" Yeah.
Ohio. So you still in Ohio? That
Yeah.
so like you were just talking about Brandon. Hey, baby.
I was good today.
Okay, I'm gonna come talk to you when I get up. Okay, baby. All right. Close the door for me, baby. Okay. Go in the kitchen, get it, baby. All right. Yeah. Excuse me, man. You know, the baby's
cool.
just getting home from school. So, yeah, just speaking about Brandon, bro. How much is the hat a part of the brand? Like, how much is that hat a part of the brand? Have you ever bet anybody for the hat? Like, if we lose, I got you a hat. The shirt.
No, you know
like,
what? I never looked at it like I never did that. I'll be honest. I never thought that the hat was going to be marketable or people that wanted to wear it. It was something I wanted to be different and wear and stand out. I wanted to stand out. So I just wanted to stand out. And I didn't think a lot of people would like it, to be honest to you. My ex-girlfriend, it was kind of funny. She didn't like it. She thought it was like a little circus hat and all this other stuff. So she didn't like it. But the moment I got into the fight and the fans was like, dope hat. Everybody, dope hat. They were taking pictures with me. She started to come in. She's like, oh, yeah, you need to wear it. Oh, now I need to wear it because you seeing all this love I'm getting with the hat. So,
yeah, I think like that hat or like so many, especially like boxing fans or wrestling fans, shit, they Mortal Kombat fans, like you know, boxing, especially like you younger, like around my age, you know, 30s, you know, I'm early 30s, you know, you grew up around that. that wrestling era that was it, and that's another thing about the branding that you always do, man. Them wrestling memes where you putting other people's face on the wrestlers and
Yeah,
shit like that. That's another good thing that you always do that I see that you brand real well. I see a lot of people sharing it, laughing at it, on your Ohio Runs Boxing page on
yeah.
Facebook and shit. Like when you start doing them, where you get the idea to just start doing that shit? Because a lot of them memes that you do, bro, it just fall in line to this shit. Like I seen a lot of when it had some people butt hurt. Uh, the recent one where you had like was it Earl Spence knocking everybody out like on the baby boy scene
Oh
when he
yeah,
got
yeah.
to,
Because people think it's just all perfect. It's all perfect timing. Sometimes, like I said, I like Terrence Crawford. I like Bud Crawford. Uh, but I made a meme of him getting Stone Cold Stunner by Blair Cobb. And Blair loved it because he's a big wrestling head. So Blair was all for it, bro. He couldn't wait to share it on his Instagram.
Yeah,
So
and Blair actually walked in as Stone Cold in his ring walk to the Mo Hooker fight, and that shit was like, oh shit. Because I
bro,
was saying I had Blair winning before the fight, and then when I seen him walking in with the Stone Cold and shit, I'm like, oh, this nigga done turned to the rattlesnake, like he about to be this dude, like
I
yo,
think, bro.
your audio kind of cutting out. You leaving the house? I think you kind of disconnected to your Wi-Fi or something.
That was me. My bad. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, I hear you now.
Nah, I was saying that I didn't have Blair winning that fight.
Man, soon what you talking about after it was all over, or you was
No,
before
before.
going into the fight?
Yeah. Before,
Mm-hmm.
I thought Maurice was gonna get him, man, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a big surprise. And I was happy for Blair because when you got guys like that talking junk, you want them to at least win one fight
Mm-hmm.
so they can be pumped. Can you imagine if Broner fought and he stopped Omar Figueroa? Oh my God!
Man, if he stopped him, so did you think? Hold up, did I freeze? Let me
No, I
see.
hear you. I hear you real good.
All right. So do you think like Adrien Broner had a chance to win? What do you think is going? Just went down with that as far as like him calling out the fight, saying it was due to mental illness and things like that. How you think? What was you thinking about Adrien Broner before you heard of that? Like, just talk to me about him pulling out the fight and what you think.
I I think I think I personally think that he has fought going through uh mental health problems before. This is nothing new. I don't know if you can hear me. You buffing over here a little bit. See if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear me. Went out for a second. We'll wait for you to get back. I don't know if you can hear me. But shout out to y'all for listening right now. Y'all already know what it is. Let me see. Wait for Q to come back on, man, so we can talk about this Adrien Broner situation and hear what he got to say. So I don't know what's going on. Like he went out for a second, like he lost service. That's when sometimes it is like that with StreamYard. You good?
Yeah, my bad. Think
Okay. I can hear you.
yeah, you good?
Yep.
All
But what I was about to say, I was talking about Broner. I think he done fought plenty of times, man, where I felt like he shouldn't have went into those fights because of the things that happened on the outside. Uh, I don't know if he wasn't where the weight was supposed to be. I don't even remember where the weight was. This fight was at. Was it at 147? Was it at was it supposed to be a catch? Yeah, 144. Was it supposed to be a catch? I don't know where it was, so I'm lost in the sauce. I probably got to look that up to see where it was, but that could have been the case. That could have been. Somebody said Broner could have been lying, and that could be the case. But here's my thing with that. Let's just say that was the case. Let's just say Broner was lying. You don't think he deserved to pull out a fight when he want to? When he didn't put in all the stuff he did over the years, uh, fighting, never ducking, never using money as a point of why he ain't fighting somebody. He never brought up a side talk, even when he hung around Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Broner never put himself in a situation where he held up a fight because of negotiations or money or this. He never did that when he was putting asses in seats. People never thought about this. Like, you know what? That's true. Broner fought everybody that was presented to him. He never made no excuses. So now he got to a point in his career where if he opts out of fight, I even heard people say, oh, he needs to they just need to let him go. They should never let him fight again and this and this. And I'm like, wow, this is the reason why fighters should not break their neck for fans all the time, because they switch on you the moment something you do wrong, or you go the moment they don't agree with you, they switch up on you. And that's crazy. Like, it's crazy that Broner has fought plenty of times, and I felt plenty of times where he shouldn't even been in the ring, to be honest. He was dealing with a lot of stuff, and he still gave the fans what they wanted. The moment he
Mm-hmm.
focused on himself and said, you know what, I'm gonna just do it, focus on me, do what I need to do, pull this out for me, it's a problem. Now, here's my thing. It has to be something serious, because Broner has been always screaming about inactivity. A month, 2 months ago, we just seen Broner talking about, I think it was a month ago, about Showtime and them postponing fights. He wanted to fight. He was frustrated. So
Mm-hmm.
now all
He
of a
said
sudden,
it. He said it in this post conference after his last fight, the Sebastian cat.
absolutely,
Bro, he said you gotta keep me in the ring. He want to
yeah.
fight 2 times if he can. He'll fight 3, because if not, he gonna be dealing with them vices.
That's true, and he doesn't have confidence in himself outside of boxing, bro. I listened to him, and you just said that he's pleading for help, because you can't have yes men all around you. You need some people that's gonna really put their arms around you and take you to certain places that you need to be to get mental help and get away from people who's draining you, man. Because I remember Hector Camacho saying that in emotionally crying in a interview when he was going through stuff in his personal life, man, in the ring. He was crying for help before that, before the streets got Hector, and and stuff like that. Now, years later, it actually got him. But my thing was, some of these fighters, they cry for help. They tell you that they're going through something, and we ignore it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
mental health is a big thing, and I also want to address this too, because I see this as being said too. Somebody, I don't know if you saw it, but people tried to compare Ryan Garcia's mental health to Adrien Broner. And, they was like, y'all made fun of, y'all ain't say nothing about Ryan. Y'all made fun of his. And when it come to Adrien Broner, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all trying to defend it. I'm one of them that's defending it. But I said, look, mental health is serious. I'm not saying Ryan didn't have it. But what I'm saying is Ryan did not go through 4 divisions and become a champion. Ryan has never won a title. Ryan has never fought Manny Pacquiao or Mikey Garcia. He's never fought on the big stage. He's never been handed $20 million after a fight. He's never went through this. You know what I'm saying? So he's never been on this type of level when it comes to uh, being on success of boxing. Yes, he might have his mental health problems, but you ain't got the problems Broner has had. Because if you going through that now, bro, what is going to happen when you win your first title? You're showing me that you ain't going to even have longevity in the sport. If you
Mm-hmm.
going and that's the thing. It's like there's some things you can criticize. I got a son that's 10 years old, right? I seen I got him a phone, and I remember reading one of his tweet his on my YouTube. I let him use my YouTube channel because he watched a lot of videos. And I remember reading one of his comments. Now my son is only 10, and I'm seeing him encourage another person under one of these videos. It was like a cartoon video. But my son is 10 talking about, yes, mental health is serious and this and that, and I know what it's like. What are you talking about? You only 10. What are you talking about? What mental things you going through at 10 years old when you talking about mental health and you know what it's like? You ain't paid one bill. You ain't got no family. So sometimes these, and I'm not saying, and that's what I said. You have to be careful. Some people go with the trend and just
Mm-hmm.
say it just because it sounds good and this and this, and you ain't going through that. You know what I mean? We still have to fight through certain things. That's just part of
Mm-hmm.
life. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I think Broner did that a lot. That's why I don't have a problem with him pulling out now because he never did that before. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
uh, I understand some people, man, they want to see him. I wanted to see him. People, look, let me tell you this, Q. People want to talk about mental health. Let me tell you what's been going on with the Ohio boxing scene. Terrell
Mm-hmm.
Gauthier lose to Tim Kazu. He didn't let his hands go. Sean Porter lose to Terrence Crawford in a controversy fashion where Kenny get blamed and all. It was ugly. Then you got Broner just dropping out a fight I wanted to see. Mickey Bay fight gets canceled. Charles Conwell and Isaiah Steen sitting on the shelf. They're one of the hottest prospects in our state. You know, y'all need to be checking on Marcus' mental health when it comes to our fighters.
Man,
Golly, you know what I'm saying?
bruh.
So there's a lot of stuff that's going on that don't go our way. That's the only thing I'm saying, man. It's a lot of stuff that don't go our way, bro. So but when it come back to Broner, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he deserved to have that benefit of the doubt. He's proven to get, he's proven himself every time, bro. And people don't, and this is another thing too. Omar Figueroa don't want to bring up. He messed up the fight the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like
And what'd he do?
he
Well, how was that?
DUI. He got a DUI.
Oh.
People forgot about this. He got a DUI, bro,
Mm.
and they had to postpone it. But this the thing. I think that was in 2018. That was the first time they were supposed to fight. Now,
Right.
Broner
Well,
always have cases pending when he's fighting. It never
he
affects
had
the.
one of them last time.
Absolutely. Broner had 3 or 4, so that's never an excuse for Broner, but it was an excuse for Omar now. See what I'm saying? So it's not, we're not going to play pointing the finger game, but at the end of the day, don't try to use this as a point of Broner getting out of the fight because he don't want to fight you, bro. Cut that out. Because I actually think
He
this
want
is
that
a good.
money.
Yeah, I think
Gunner
this is
wants
a
that
good
money.
fight. This is a good fight for Omar and Broner because he's a volume puncher, and that's one of Broner's kryptonites in this type of style of fight. So I actually like this fight. Now I don't think Broner is getting away from it. They've been trying to match him up with Omar Figueroa for the last 2 or 3 years now. You know what I mean? So that's something they're not trying to get away from, but it is what it is. I think Omar and Lipinets is now fighting, and that's gonna be good for them, man. So that's all I
Hey,
can say.
y'all go to the front with that noise. Yeah, man. So what do you think after this? If as far as Adrien Broner, when the next time you think he could be back, or what you think for as far as his future? Because Adrien Broner isn't that old. You know what I mean? He's still what in his early 30s. I think me and Broner about the same age. What he like 33 or
Yeah, he
32?
about 32, 32.
So
Yeah, I
what
think
else you think he got?
no, he better have something big. No, what if he does this and then he got Mayweather lined up for next year? He got Mayweather lined
Bruh.
up in December, bro. Like we don't. This is how boxing works, man. You never know, and I don't think he would pull out unless it was something really serious. You just don't pull out when you've been screaming at us for activity. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And it's like I just don't see him just pulling out the pull out, bro. He's really dealing with something serious or he has something bigger in plan for him. And that's the only way I can look at that. Have fighters done this plenty of times? Absolutely. That's why I don't want to put it past them because I've seen fighters fake injuries to go to other fights. And Charles Conwell just went through that with his split team management where they told him to fake a hand injury to get out of a fight so he can fight on Thriller. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he only did that because his team told him. Charles wanted to fight both fights and get the bag. So let's just make sure that's clear. Charles was just only going by what his team was telling him to do. You get what I'm saying? So this is
Mm-hmm.
not something that we just can't think would happen. Like, oh, it would never happen. That could actually happen. So, but I don't think Broner would just, if he is doing that, it better be a big fight. If he's faking this, it better be a big fight. You know what I mean? Something huge for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
just how I look at it.
Yeah, big bad because I kind of seen like like a couple weeks, probably like last week. I kind of seen like it little fizzling up a little bit. Him and Mayweather. shit possibly fighting. You know, I guess people was kind of teasing that or throwing it back out there. Which, you know, that man, if it could have happened back in the day, even after Broner lost, you know, after the Maidana and shit, that still would have been a big fight with Adrien Broner. I just think now he kind of been just the inactivity, which he was complaining about. I think they could have just, you know, I don't know, because, you know, I guess like people always talk about the business of boxing. You know, with Adrien Broner, how active can you keep him? Because, you know, he gonna make some money if you put him out there. So you put him out there 3 times, you know, I know that's gonna be a little bit in your budget, especially if you know, like this fight was you're gonna be on regular TV. And actually the Danny fight was actually on regular TV, which to me was actually, it's kind of surprising that those fights was on were on regular TV and Broner was gonna be on regular TV, for the fact that I seen like Keith Thurman, you know, pay-per-views, and you know, some of these lower tier people, you know, that don't have the name value with Danny and Adrien Broner on pay-per-view.
I think, and you know, and I'm gonna touch on that too, because a lot of people didn't understand. I was trying to help them understand. That's the first thing we both have to understand when it comes to these pay-per-view numbers. The pay-per-view numbers are, as what they're being promoted as, bad numbers. We both can agree. We look at these numbers and say, okay, these are not good numbers, right? Then Showtime been here longer than Al Heyman. Can we both agree on that? Showtime has been here longer than Al Heyman. So why are they still letting Al Heyman put on pay-per-views that makes no sense and they ain't getting no money back on them? If that's what we're seeing, you get what I'm saying? They're smart businessmen. Al Heyman is a smart businessman. So I tell people, stop going by what you see in these numbers, because that's not telling us everything. When Canelo fought Caleb Plant, right? That was pay-per-view. Good pay-per-view. Did good numbers too, because it's Canelo. Let's make sure that's clear. Canelo went back to DAZN. DAZN ended up turning it into a pay-per-view when he went back. What did Canelo show them to make them go, oh, snap, pay-per-view ain't dead? Because they wasn't doing pay-per-view. So what is Al Heyman doing over here for Canelo to show the numbers to DAZN, for them to say, oh, we can't compete with that. We got to go pay-per-view. You get what I'm saying? What's going on in the back that a lot of people don't understand? So back to what you were just saying. When it comes to Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin, pay-per-view, that's not pay-per-view. But here it is. Look at it from this standpoint. If I'm Al Heyman and I done paid all these fighters over the years, let's just say he was being quoted as overpaying fighters, right? Some guys were getting big bags that wasn't even world titles, didn't have belts. Al changed the game. But how would you counter offer or change it a little bit to fighters you've been overpaying? What you do is you have a pay-per-view to show them what their worth is. Get what I'm going? I'm gonna show you, so you won't see if I take a pay cut, you're gonna be tripping. Oh, he is this and this. No. I'm gonna put you on pay-per-view. Mind you, I've been giving you all this money. I've been giving you more than what you deserve. Now I'm gonna show you that I've been overpaying you.
Show you your worth.
I'm going to show you your worth.
Reset that pay scale.
Absolutely. So now when you come back to the negotiation table with me, you're not going to be saying, oh, I need this. I need 2.5. Wait a minute. Let's look at your pay-per-view numbers. Huh? Oh, I'll just go over across the street. Okay, go ahead. Go to Bob. Go to them. See if you're going to get a pay-per-view over there. I'm giving y'all pay-per-views. They ain't going to do that for y'all. Do you understand what Al is creating? So he's creating this for these fighters. I'm giving y'all pay-per-views. They're not going to do that, right? Now, once you get that, once you create that and get the money back at a lower pay scale, because people were saying it ain't just pay-per-views. He doing pay-per-views and he lowering it. No, he's doing that with fighters on regular card. Robert Easter was making 1.5. He was making good money. His next fight before he got shot was going to be like $750K, bro. And that's what Broner said.
I remember, Broner was saying that on that little interview when they was talking about my little buddy. They trying to get him on the bread and shit like that.
He didn't mention the name, but we can put 2 and 2 together. You know what I'm saying? So
I knew he wasn't talking about Tank.
I knew he wasn't talking about Tank, but here's my thing. We can put 2 and 2 together. But the point I'm making is these guys were taking pay cuts because it's about your worth at the end of the day. Yes, I done did this and did that and did that for you, but it's time now. It's time for me to just get my stuff back because it's about making money at the end of the day. So Al is doing all this stuff before he gets in the red. Before he gets in the red, bro. So he's not doing this while he's in the red like HBO did. HBO went out of business. HBO putting on pay-per-views that didn't have no business being on pay-per-views. They was already in the red. Poor Crawford versus Victor Postal made no sense on pay-per-view.
On pay-per-view, right?
Triple G versus David Lemieux. But here's the thing: they all were unification fights too. All of them had belts. Does not mean pay-per-view.
Yeah, it don't.
Don't mean it's pay-per-view. So that's my point when it comes to that. When people don't understand the difference when you putting pay-per-views on that just don't make no sense, you got to also look at it from different point of views. Because Showtime know what they're doing. Al Heyman know what they're doing, and I think he's just I always look at him negotiating with the fighters. That's how I look at it. I look at certain tactics as negotiating with the fighters.
So like the Adrien Broner pulling out, that Showtime. The what's his name? The Jake Paul and the Rockman fight, that was Showtime, and that's scrap. How much pressure now with the environment in Showtime? You got two pretty much decent fights that you was planning on making money for, scrap, and you got this Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence over your head that everybody looking for y'all to make. How much incentive or how bad do they need to make that fight now with those dates getting canceled?
Man, you just painted a good picture with that, because even when you put it like that in that perspective, it's like, ooh, man, just cancel after cancel. And then, yes, they're under a lot of pressure, man, to try to get this fight. I think both parties have to be realistic. I think Crawford have to be realistic and Earl have to be realistic to the point. If Earl really wants to fight too, I hear people say this. If Earl really wants to fight, Earl is the A side, whatever. But if he wants to fight, he has to make some sacrifices too. If you demanding this, I want 14 or 15, then maybe you got to bring it down to 12 and make sure Crawford gets that 3. If you really want the fight, you get what I'm saying? Now, if the money in there, it should be money in there for both of them, to be honest, for what they're asking. But they just got to be realistic when it comes to this market and what Showtime and them doing it, because both of them can be better off. If they don't fight, we'll be pissed off. But this ain't the first time us as boxing fans don't get the fights we deserve. So you know what I'm saying? This ain't the first time, but I definitely want them to come together and get that fight together and get it made, man. We need to fight. We definitely need to fight. But it's definitely, to answer your question, Showtime is definitely under a lot
of pressure.
And I don't even think Al is in the negotiation as much with this, because I personally feel
it's Showtime with
Terrence Crawford really don't want to work with Al like that, which is crazy to me. Like it's one of the crazy things ever. And I told people this, that he probably, if he can retire and go to the Hall of Fame right now, but he also could be in the same situation like Demetrius Andrade. You got a WBO belt, and now all of a sudden you feel like everybody ducking you, but you calling out Chris Eubanks, and who Crawford got? Josh Taylor left, and then Virgil Ortiz. You can still fight Virgil, but will Oscar let that happen? Because that's it. He ain't go. Al got the 154 division on lock, 147 division on lock. So if you can't do business with him with this fight, how you think you're gonna do business with the other fights? He can freeze you out. Like
you stuck in them divisions. Like those divisions, he got a stronghold on them. And even if you go, man, which he doubt going up even higher to 160, bro, he still got a lot of them guys.
Yeah, it's monopoly. It's like he's buying up all the property, no matter how many dice, how much you roll. You roll a 6, he right there.
He got his shit on 6 and 8. You gotta pay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's this thing, man. When it comes, you gotta be smart. He gotta have a good team. And Crawford, I'm rooting for Crawford. I think he beat Spence. But business wise, I've been telling people this. He's not a he's made some bad decisions, just like Demetrius Andretti. I mean, look at his advisor. You talking about Al Heyman? You don't want to work with Al Heyman, but your advisor is wanted. You,
I heard somebody say because of the three fight deal thing came from True School Sports, and
that's my guy.
that's my guy too. He don't really be out there doing no clickbait. He get the information as he see, and he don't even do that breaking news shit. So when he kind of said that, I guess they got 14 mil on the table for a 3-fight deal, and they willing to give him the what I think like 8 million dollar guarantee for the Spence fight, and I guess the other little 5 mil is 2 other fights, but they was like the highest they'll go is $15 million 3-fight deal contract, and I guess that's an extra meal for the Earl fight, and they like, man, Bud negotiating every goddamn penny. You know what I mean? Like, he the one doing the negotiating. He don't got no team negotiating for him. They doing the negotiating directly with Bud and I guess Bomac or whatever. But they saying that man negotiating every goddamn dollar. He want everything, down to the penny for each fight, and with, I guess, it being 2 blank slates on the other 2 fights, he don't want you to just Showtime to be able to throw any fucking opponent when you sign that contract on there, because he fight Bud, and Earl, next thing you know, man, shit, what fuck, they throw boots on that bitch. So they throw something, and
I get
then
what
you
you're
stuck
saying,
to
but
that.
I get what you're saying, but it's still up to the fighter to fight or not. He don't have to fight whoever they throw to him. It's still up to him. If he will be in the A-side position like Manny Pacquiao was when he came over to PBC. All they can do is present you the fights. It's up to you to take. You know what I'm saying? They can never make you fight anybody. But I definitely understand the 3-fight deal. To me, sounds like Showtime don't have confidence in Earl Spence. Why
They
can't
need a backup plan.
why can't it be a 2-fight deal? So this 3-fight deal is head scratching to me. Like, y'all looking to get some type of investment from him if he beat Earl. You see what I'm saying? It's like maybe that's what they're trying to do with that 3rd fight. Because if he beat Earl the first time and then he beat him the second time after the rematch, then they gonna want to try to get those belts back. You get what I'm saying?
I gotta get them back.
This is the same thing with Bob Arum. He signed Devin Haney. People he signed Devin Haney. Guess how many fights? 3. He gonna fight Ken Bosel another time, and then he gonna put him in a position where he can try to get those belts back. You know what I'm saying? I need those straps. Bob don't even promote that style. Yeah. I tell people this all the time. He don't even like those styles. And y'all up here talking about Bob. No, it's all about, you know what I'm saying, the game. Pay attention how these promoters move.
Hey, and Marcus, I said that soon as Lomachenko didn't come out of the war to fight, bro, I said, Devin gonna fight Lomachenko. Because what is better promotion and what make better sense for Bob goddamn grandson? You know what I mean? He treat Loma like his goddamn grandson. Bro, no, I'm not gonna give you this check. If Loma was getting $2 million to fight Kambosos, let Devin get that, and you gonna get a big bag. The promotion gonna be crazy. You coming out of war, you know how they putting the cameras on them boys, to build it up. Lomachenko, bro, and you never seen Lomachenko leave no goddamn rankings. You ain't even seen him leave the pound for pound rankings, especially on ESPN. I'm like, Bob paying good money for that. Yeah, he got something in store. That's the Bob father, bro. And a lot of people was thinking, maybe the Tank and shit, and even them going back and forth kind of had you thinking like, man, maybe Tank and Devin could fight. But it's like, nah, Bob got the contract on him, so he gonna fight Loma. And Tio said it himself. He just trying to feed him to Lomachenko. He just trying to feed him to Lomachenko. We was the thing. That's the delusion they saying they got. Tio got, but that part of what Tio saying ain't delusional. Him thinking he won and all that conspiracy shit. Ain't no conspiracy. They was gonna drop the belts. It just made it easier for Loma to get his hand in. But
Absolutely, I think, and that's another thing too, because the way boxing works, sometimes you plan something and it doesn't work. Teofimo can get that fight as well. Who is that? PBC ain't stupid. They showing Crawford. He is the winner if him and Spence fight. If he is the winner, if he and Spence.
that's kind of like what he's saying, giving them a 3 deal.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
kind of looking at like, man, you gonna be spent, so we need you for 2 more fights.
But that's the only reason why I said that. When you look at it like that, from that standpoint, you don't give a 3-fight deal like
To
that unless
somebody you think gonna lose.
absolutely,
Facts.
absolutely. So that just
Facts.
tell me a lot, and they want some investment out of this, bro. Because I tell people this: when he fought Ugas, Earl fans needed a stoppage. They needed an eye test stoppage. I don't care what nobody say. Because Crawford was winning the fans with the eye test. Period. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Period. Earl wasn't stopping nobody. He had the hashtag, man.
Yeah.
We got Crawford who moved up 3 divisions and stopping people, and y'all bringing up excuses. Y'all bringing up excuses why he's stopping, and then bringing up excuses for Earl why he's not getting stoppages. Like, come on. Like, which one is it?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you got a 3-fight deal, that tells you a lot about what they feel going into negotiation. You don't just ask for no 3-fight deal because you think Spence gonna win. That's not what they trying to get their money. So we started from today, bro. That's a good one. That oh man, 3-fight deal. But what were we talking about before we went back to that?
The Lomachenko and
The
Devin.
Lomachenko, and that's what I said. Yep, the Devin Haney. That's why you look at it like that. He's not gonna. He doesn't like that style. Bob does not like that style. Guillermo Rigondeaux, a boxer,
You don't like that.
but he never did.
And then after the Devin fight, he wasn't smiling like that
No.
about him.
And I told people this because I understand the business. But hardcores won that night. Casuals didn't.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. You should have seen the fans in Australia. They was lost. Like, what is going on?
They was in that motherfucker. Like,
bro, they ain't know what happened. Like, how did he lose? That's the game, man. That's the game.
But so we probably can expect, because man, Devin not gonna lose to Kambosos, bro. Hopefully, I hope he could put like
a stamp on
like put a little stamp on it. Like, I actually thought, bro, I was saying Devin was gonna knock him out. Devin didn't really do what he needed to do to knock him out, and it was pretty much stand his ground. You know, he stayed on his toes, boxed around him, used the jab, a lot of check hooks and things like that. But with this next fight, he know what he can do. I think he need to put the extra on it. You know, that's what I'm hoping for him, to actually put the stamp on it. You know, but Devin, he like that Mayweather school to the core. He don't give a fuck what nobody think about how we look in the ring. He gonna go in there and get the job done.
He has
how
to
he
stay
need to get
he
the
has
job.
to stay with that mindset too, man. He definitely has that, and he's one of those guys. I'm never big on defending undisputed, but guys like Devin has to defend undisputed. You have to take all the belts and hold them up for his hostage. Excuse my language. Hold them hostage, because people, if they really want to become titles holders, they got to go through him. So that's the only way, because he's been ducked with belts. You get what I'm saying? So when you got guys like him holding the belts, yes, you have to defend undisputed, because
the belts don't matter now.
Oh yeah, now
to a few people, that them shits don't matter. But that's why I like the Lomachenko fight, because Lomachenko he want legacy, he want them belts. He ain't gonna say that shit don't matter, because he ain't going on no 140. That's Shakur.
But you got to think about it too. It's in-house. Top rank is all in-house. Them fights always sexy to them. That's always
sir.
And I kept telling people when they talking about Devin versus Tank and Devin versus Ryan, those fights are not happening no time soon, guys. We've been down this road too many times. This is not gonna happen. So when Devin free agent, then we can start talking about Devin and Tank and then him going back to the zone. But right now he's with Top Rank, and they're gonna only look out for their fighters. They're obligated for their fighters. So if it ain't gonna be Lomo, Teofimo all of a sudden on pay-per-view with Devin. Why?
Shit. So Tio would take that fight? Because I think he would, but sometimes I'd be like, bro, I don't know. You know, I don't know, bro. I guess the Kambosos shit made me think like he took Kambosos. You know, I don't know how serious he had to defend that his shit against Kambosos, but
Mm-hmm.
Devin was right there. And now I seen fight with the guy from Fight Hub. Ask Tio, man, what you think about a fight with you and Devin at 140? And man, Tio started going off on the whole other shit, talking about, man, everybody against me. He talked to the interviewer. I knew you against me. Y'all on this payroll and shit like that. I'm like,
What?
man, what Tio talking
I
about?
didn't see that. I didn't
Like
see that.
it's on Twitter. Like the captions say, Tio's talking about the boxing Illuminati. Like they asked him a question about Devin, he started talking about boxing Illuminati. Like he was wilding. And Devin like, man, what Devin say? Devin like, man, this weight cut got him delusional. Like,
That's crazy,
so
man.
man, so Tio, bro, I think he will fight him. Man, what you think about Tio fight Saturday, bro? Like,
I
what
liked
you
it.
think about him?
People was I think some people was trying to over evaluate him by saying like they was making like he should have got the guy out of there in the first round. No, man, he just this is first what he moved up. He's fighting a guy in the top 60, whatever, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you are top ranked, moving an investment, that's how you're supposed to move them. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes it's up to the fighters if they want to take a little harder challenge. Cool, but if that's your money, if you're a promoter and you got money in this dude, no, we're not fighting him. We're not fighting nobody in the top 10. We're gonna fight somebody in the top 30 or the top 40 because we're trying to see where you at. You just lost to Camboso, who just got outboxed. Okay, so we
Nigga
trying to
lost 12 zip, no
right.
sympathy rounds.
So, you got to look at it from a management point of view, too. A lot of people just look at it from the outside fans and don't understand. You are an investment, my friend. And that's what, but he looked great. I think he got him out of there. He took his time and worked, and he looked good, man. Feet work. He was having fun. When you having fun, you locked in, man. You good. He was locked in, man. He was
Yeah,
having fun. He was
it was
having fun.
locked in. He came out with the Ric Flair drip.
Yeah,
I was fucking
yeah.
with that. I'm like, man, this nigga got the Ric Flair. He got the doves on the back. Like, you see,
Mhm.
I've been seeing a lot of these boxers come out on their wrestling shit, man. So
Yeah, I like it. It's
yeah, that
to
shit
be
cool.
honest with you, I'm always been big. That's why I always felt like if I wanted to, I would have pushed the Ohio brand where we were like the NWO, but I didn't want us to come off too arrogant and cocky because it would have been like that. We'd have been throwing people in the, putting on skits, throwing people through glass like Ohio unboxing friend, and we would have been the villains, man. So
Yeah.
I did little videos like that before, but I think it's good to have boxing, man. We miss wrestling. So when you can combine them together like that, it's dope. It's always dope. I think it's always dope seeing Stone Cold with Terrence Crawford head stunning.
We ran in there where was the other one you had Al Heyman in there and all that. And man, that shit was funny. Yeah, you be doing that, bro. You gotta teach me how to do the meme and make their mouth move, bro. Because I can do it I did one earlier. Like when I first started my channel, I did one of the 60-40 scene on Soul Man, and I
Oh
put
yeah,
Spence and Bud on there. You like 60-40, like I did that, but
yeah.
I wanted the mouths to move like that. How the
Okay,
fuck you do
okay.
that shit? You gotta teach me that shit. How to
Yeah,
do that, man.
I'm a big movie head, so a lot of the stuff before I even did those little head memes, I was doing movie clips using the boxing, saying, I don't know if you remember that, but I was using real movie clips, and I would talk about boxing, saying, this is Charlo, talking to Al Heyman using the Rocky scene where, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a big movie head, so I got a lot of memory in here, man, when it comes to movies and putting the boxing together with some of that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. I love that shit because that's how I like correlate a lot of shit together. A lot of things they do, it kind of remind you of movies and shit. Like,
Mhm.
little sound bites, people, that I got on my little thing. AWAX talking to AWAX talking to Kane, and then both of you niggas acting like
Yeah.
bitches, that shit like that. So, man, let's get into some Ohio prospects. Like who are some of the top prospects, got a little buzz this year that we should be really paying attention to in 2023 and things like that? Who a couple notable
Oh man,
Ohioans?
if it's all about activity when it comes to some of our guys, man. It's about momentum and activity. If they don't have that momentum going with the activity, man, it's gonna be you're not going to see the potential that you deserve to see with some of these guys. But some of the top prospects, I can say prospects and contenders. Like I said,
Yeah,
Albert Bell is a contender. He is one of the best guys that people overlook. And,
who is he fighting next? Because I seen he got a fight coming up.
yeah, it's September the 3rd. I forgot his name, but it's a good step up fight for him. Shout out to Vic Green, his manager, keeping him active. A lot of people don't understand when you got fighters who fight on TV and fight for big companies like Top Rank and then get dropped. Sometimes they get so much pride that they can't fight on small cars no more. So they feel like they too big for that. You know what I mean? And Albert is not like that, man. Albert is staying busy. He fought in Atlanta. He's been fighting on different cars, man. So it's he's staying active, and the WBO is positioning him where he can get a shot, man, because people don't like that style. Like again, he's a boxer, a pure boxer. So he's a contender. Charles Conwell is moving up in that contender area too. Charles Conwell is a beast at 154. So when you got these Crawfords and Earl Spence coming up, talking about they gonna run it, nah, bro. I got you got to go through. They're gonna have to go through that Ohio smoke eventually, man, because that boy is the truth. I think he beats Tim Kazoo, Sebastian Formella, not Formella, but
Fundora.
Fedora. I think he beats him.
What about do you see him in a future fight with Xander?
Who?
Conwell.
What's Xander weight class? He ain't 154.
Yeah, he at 154.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was 140.
Nah, he was at 147, but he moved. He moved up.
Oh, his last fight was 154.
Yeah.
Bro, Charles eat that man for lunch, man. Charles eat that man for lunch. I'm sorry, bro. And people
they said,
crazy.
Hey, they got him as like he like #1 prospect right now. He done been super active. He young,
but that's what I love.
He getting the lights. Yeah,
I love it. But here's my thing too. I'm gonna tell you right now because I learned this from Floyd Mayweather. You promote them and you build them up so we can tear them down. So you're not gonna hear me say, "Oh, he's trash." Nope. We're gonna say he the best Puerto Rican. We're gonna put him over Trinidad. We're gonna build this boy up so high. When it comes to Ohio, we're gonna snatch it all away. Because that's what you're supposed to do. We ain't about to talk down on the talent that's in our class to try to make us feel good. No, we're gonna lift them up. We're gonna say even better than Charles. We're gonna put it up there like that because I like him though. I like he's definitely a good fighter. But bruh, Charles is. There's times where we tell Charles don't even need to spar at times because he hits so hard, man. He's so
like that.
Bro, he gotta hit the bag. You going through problems in your personal life? Look, just hit the bag, bro. Ain't nobody sparring with you today. Ain't nobody sparring with you today. You just hit the bag. You hit the bag, whatever you're dealing with. But defending what you were saying, Abdullah Mason. I think Abdullah Mason is one of the top prospects from our state. I love the kid. He's a gym rat. Him and his brothers, man. They real close to me because first of all, I've been following them for the longest, and then they represent unity, and especially black
family.
We don't see that. We don't see fathers keeping the kids together like that now, but we have it out there. We just don't see it publicly. You know what I mean? And I think they represent a big, big part of our culture when you see that, when you got the father keeping them all together. When Abdul do an interview, the brothers is behind him. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's never where he's just dolo, man. And I don't. Me and my oldest brother, we don't even talk no more. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have a real bad fallout 6 years ago. We haven't talked. I got two other younger brothers that I talk to, but our families is divided, man. There are people who don't even talk to their siblings. So they represent more than just boxing when it comes to our community, man. And, I appreciate them. But Abdul, when the technical wise, bro, he breaks them down. It's gonna be, like I said, he's gonna be that guy where he's gonna be holding the torch. But he's not talking a lot. He don't talk trash. You know, so for him being a superstar, I don't know if he can cross over to that superstar. It depends
Uh,
on who his partners is. You know what I mean? Once he start going down that round.
I said that. I said that same thing, and I said that about another fighter too. He slipped my mind, but Abdullah Mason. I said he gonna be one of them fighters. Jerron Ennis.
Yeah.
Jerron Ennis. They not one of them fighters. They gonna be like Terrence Crawford in the aspect of they're gonna have a big fan base, but you're gonna get a lot of people that don't want to fight them, and their career is gonna be based on who they fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because they gonna get a lot of people that's not gonna get in the ring with them, might be scared, but I'm kind of banking on this generation. I'm calling this generation the golden era. We coming in the golden era of boxing, where I think we falling out of that bronze, that silver era. You know, kind of that Bud, Earl, the Charlos, Danny, and them kind of had us in where people was kind of saying boxing was dead and this and that. With these young prospects coming up, I'm banking on them willing to take on anybody in their weight class, not letting too much of the business shit get in the way, where you can be like, man, I know I'm gonna make the money, I know I'm gonna do this, just make the fight. You know, that's what I'm kind of banking on some of these young boys to do, because I see like people talking about Abdullah, and he fight at lightweight, right? And I'm looking at Keyshawn Davis. They right there, and they kind of coming up together, both of them on top rank. And when I'm looking at, you know, Keyshawn might get the little more of the push because he a silver medalist.
Yeah.
But man, Abdullah right there on his bumper.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
And here's the thing about how, and this is the thing about why my platform was so important, because, you know, and like you said, a lot of people start noticing Abdullah before he got signed. Before he got signed,
and that's you, because I probably noticed him. Man, I want to say probably a month before he went pro. I noticed him with some shit you posted, and I seen all his brothers. I went and followed all their pages, and a month later, I seen Bob had him right there, and he like just signed him. I'm like, oh shit, like yeah,
and
like,
it's a good feeling, because I tell people all the time, being a covering the sport, you can see talent. I don't need Bob to sign a fighter for me to know he's good. I don't need Oscar De La Hoya. I don't need those type of guys to. They give me validation because they know the sport and been in there. Don't get me wrong, and it's confirmation that I know what I'm talking about. I think there's a lot of prospects that we got that can be signed right now. It's just the way the politics is. And I'm gonna always keep talking about it. Even some that got 1 or 2 losses are still good fighters. When it came to the Mason brothers and Abdullah and them, oh man, I forgot I was about to go with it. Because I'm talking about them being discovered before they was even being discovered. Dang, I forgot where I was gonna go with it. You know, it's man. I forgot where I was gonna go with it. Man, I can't remember where I was going with it. But we was talking about them. The platform. Me talking about fighters being discovered before top ranking them. It's a good feeling, man. It's really a good feeling to have that, to know that you talking about these fighters. And they say it all the time. They're like, Marcus, wasn't nobody talking about us, wasn't nobody even, doing this. But here's the thing. Ohio has so much talent, they have to leave. Look at Jared Anderson. He's now in Texas. Duke have go in Texas with, Jay Prince. They have to leave to get exposure, because we don't have that many people really looking at our state when it comes to talent. They have to leave. Now, we're starting to get people to look a little bit now, because the Ohio Run boxing is everywhere. And then when you see it, it's being shared. And I appreciate a lot of people like that sharing it. But Abdullah went to Las Vegas, and he got signed because he was doing what he was doing in sparring in Las Vegas. When they seen him in sparring and how he was doing pros,
grown ass man, because he's 17.
He's 17. 17. They were surprised that this kid is not even a pro, and it was like, what? He's an amateur? Like, yes, this is what we have, and here's another one we got.
And he was Golden Gloves national.
Yeah, he was. He definitely got some accolades in the amateurs. But again, everybody don't get to see him. Shakur's seen him. Shakur is one of the guys that's seen him too. It's like, whoa, Shakur works with him and spars with him. So but you got another one, King Savaz. He's another one. King Jr. I think you done seen King Jr. He's an amateur. He's small, you know. So I think he's 11.
Yeah.
He separate.
He
separate himself from everybody. He doesn't look like an amateur. He looks like a little pro. The way he set his shots up. He's connected with the Masons too. You know what I'm saying? Him and his dad, they all work together. So you will see that he moved. They actually moved in Texas. So they actually in Texas, but they still come back home and certain things too, man. So we have to leave out of the state sometimes because people ain't giving us a shot. They don't come down and say, hey, let me come down here and just look at the talent and sign, because we got plenty of them. So I appreciate you saying that too, like saying you seen it before they actually signed.
I seen it because I'm like, oh my God, I was like, dude, a beast. You know, I looked and I'm like, because I don't know what it was from, but it was showing all day brothers, but it was kind of highlighting Abdullah. Man, and I'm like, yeah, let me go follow all they pages. And I got that. I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. And then he signed. I see he's sitting right there next to Bob, and then he like 17. I'm like, yeah, bro, dude, a problem. And I think it's so dope that, man, from literally not being like nothing, bro, he got the buzz on YouTube. Like you can hear you can go see multiple people, different people in the underground boxing community saying, yeah, Abdullah Mason is that next prospect. He one of them guys that's, he gonna be a champion. They already stamping him as a champ. Like, yeah, he gonna be that. And a lot of people better be scared because they not just looking at him as a lightweight. They looking at that reach. They looking at that height. Like, man, that boy gonna be, man, a welterweight, junior welterweight. Like, you know. And then he got the power. Like that. The last fight, bro, you see him super sharp. You know what I mean? Like, put the dude out.
Accurate. Hey, listen, accurate punching. They came down here because I stay in Columbus. They came down here and sparred up in a smaller gym over here in Columbus, and they gave me the call. They down here just to spar because he was getting ready for that fight that y'all recently just seen. So they hit me up and let me know. So, you know, I got to record the spar. Now, I don't record the whole thing, especially when it's Ohio versus Ohio. People get sensitive about that certain thing when it comes to recording, but they know me. They know I wouldn't just be.
You got to record it and send me the footage.
Yeah, I got you.
It might not look too good coming out on your end, but you send it to me and I make it look good.
Trust me, I got some clips for you, baby. I got some clips for you. But they came down there, man, and they looked good, and it was just showing you the levels. They came down here, and I'm gonna just tell you, Cass was just dropping. Cass was dropping, and for
how many sparring partners?
Oh man, it was probably about 2 or 3 that failed, but it was like four people sparred. I think 4 from the gym sparred. But one incident we had where a guy didn't have that much experience, and it was going against Amir, the older brother,
oldest with the beard.
Yep, and I remember the dad kept asking him, like, "Y'all sure?" And what happened was Brandon. Shout out to Brandon Clark from out of Columbus. Brandon started hoorahing. He started talking, so he got the whole gym heated. Now you got the Mason brothers starting to cheer on now. So now
it's too many of them.
Right. So now the sparring has been it's real competitive. It went from just working to now like, let's get him, easy work. Oh, he can't touch you. You know, Brandon started. He's competitive. He's 168 pounder, but he's competitive. So he started the mess. So once he started, they got the dad going, and it's crazy in there, right? So they end up putting an inexperienced guy in with Amir. So one of the coaches was going back and forth like, let's go. You go in there next. I never seen this kid.
What was he looking like when they called him up? He did it like that.
I'm going to tell you right now, he was ready.
He was like, let's go. That's the Ohio.
He got his mouthpiece. Now, mind you, he's an Asian kid. I didn't know who he was. And, man, he was in there for about 30 seconds and went to sleep. He went to sleep. I'll show it to you. I'll send it to you.
It said sleep.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Damn, hold up. I got to get my motherfucking clip for that one. Damn, they said that.
Get the smelly sauce ready.
Damn. Gotta pull out my boy Charlo for that one. Shit.
Bro, it's like he went to sleep and then he woke up and he started yarning like, like that, bro.
Catnap.
Bruh, I've never seen that. It was scary though. It was definitely scary, and I couldn't believe I caught it. I was like, "Whoa!" Because what I do is when I'm recording sparring. Listen, when I'm recording sparring, it's always in segments, like clips, like a 1 minute clip. I'll watch the sparring, and then
Yeah,
I
you'd be like, put your phone down and shit. Yeah,
and
like
then
how
I
I
put
be.
it up, and then I put it up and record. It's not like I'm waiting for somebody to do something good. That's just how I do it. It's not like I'm coming and waiting for something. So, that's just how I do it. Now, if they want me to just record the whole thing, I can do that and then just hold it, because then you have moments where years later these guys are champions or about to fight. Hey, we got the sparring tape.
Yeah, you pull some shit
Marcus,
out the cut. They gonna
right?
drop your name.
You know what
Marcus
I'm saying?
got that shit. They gonna
Marcus
tag you
got
in
it.
that shit.
I'm gonna charge them too. I'm gonna bust y'all in the head.
You want this shit out the archives,
Yeah,
brother. Yeah.
$4.99. Y'all go subscribe. I'll be posting it later.
Start selling these motherfuckers for $49.99.
Bag. You know what I'm saying? But but the point is, they looked good, man, and they showed it was levels, and it actually encouraged the gym down here in Columbus, that they knew, like, it was about conditioning first. They fighters down here, but they knew the Mason brothers. They was like, whoa, these guys are conditioned. They was ready to go round after round, like, whoa. So that was just levels that they actually respected from the Masons. Was just the seeing Abdul, they can go rounds and rounds and rounds, bro. Like, this is
And they all trained by their father.
yeah. They trained by their dad. They trained by their dad.
Are they bringing other trainers in,
Yeah,
or like that?
They had some. They bring some, but for the most part, yes, because they had some down here. Ali, they came up under Ali in Cleveland. So it's a couple trainers that you gotta get a shout out for that played a part of Abdul, man, that a lot of people don't really talk about as much. But yeah. So
And the other brothers from Ohio, David and Jose,
yeah.
Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about when the next time they fighting?
David is actually fighting in Akron, and I think that's going to be on the same date as Albert Bell in Toledo. So I have to pick what card I'm going to go to, because you got one in Akron, that's under Mickey Bay and them promotion, and then you got it's going to be David Rodriguez. I don't know if Jose has been inactive a little bit. David has been the more active one. He fought this year in I think it was in February in Cincinnati. I was at that card. And so he fought that one, but he's more active right now. So I haven't heard anything from Jose. But I know he was thinking about retiring because of frustration, man, inactivity. But he back. He gonna be back on the scene soon. So, but they have a card in Akron September the 3rd as well. I know it's Cleveland. It's gonna be Cleveland, not Akron. Cleveland.
Okay.
So Cleveland and Toledo have some cards. I hate when they have them on the same day. I really hate it because I got to pick the best one when I gotta go. Gotta go cover.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you to say which one the best one. I hope they ain't
Oh
watching,
no, we need that. We need that.
Yeah,
I ain't
you need the
away from
competition.
that.
Like, the better card, the better card.
Bro, that's our problem. We don't. When I came up with that pound for pound boxing ranking, people was like, oh, man, some of the fighters was a little sensitive. Like Montana Love was like, I got respect for Terrell Goucher. I don't care about all that, man. Just like, I'm just going by what y'all accomplished right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put that out there. You can accept my opinion.
You had Terrell Goucher above Montana?
No, I had Montana above Terrell.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like but I didn't count the draw that I felt like Terrell beat Austin Trout. But I had Montana based on Samuel Teal coming off that. That was a 8 Showtime fight. He beat Samuel Teal. He was the B side, and Samuel Teal was the one Showtime was behind. He was out of Philadelphia. Montana won it. That was a good win. Then he fought Jericho on Showtime. That was a good win. They both was undefeated prospects. Montana won that, and he beat Ivan Berlicek. Terrell have fought better competition, but he just haven't won those big fights. His big fight was Jamonte Clark, or his biggest win was Jamonte Clark, Ohio versus Ohio. So I knew why I was putting Montana in front of him. Now, if he would have beat Tim and and showed some consistency, yeah, but I was right at that moment of where I was placing him. You know what I'm saying? So, and Montana been on the streak too. He's been knocking cats out. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I put that at. But the point I brought that up was, there's a lot of journalists that don't even want to make those type of rankings because, again, they don't want y'all to get in y'all feelings. No, man, you gotta let these know. We know Abdul is the best brother out of the Mason brothers. They know that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make them get better. We can't sit there and make them feel like they all on the same level. That's not being realistic. How they gonna grow? You know,
Right.
so we have to do that on the you know, the playing field. It's just how you approach it. That's all. That's the most important thing is how you approach these things when you presenting that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till that amateur pound for pound ranking come out. You don't see.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for it.
Wait.
So what's give me your top 5 Ohio pound for pound right now. Just right now. Give me your top 5.
Right now, that's active. It's kind of hard because it's like I'm gonna tell you just.
Yeah, I mean, like just off visually, just like what you've been seeing,
Yeah.
momentum,
I'm gonna tell
you
you. I'm
know.
gonna give you my 5. I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say pound for pound. I'm just gonna give you my 5 fighters that I like right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Alicia Bogardner. People forgot. You know, she's.
I got a question about her too.
Yep, Lisa Bogardner. Uh, Charles Conwell, Jared Anderson, Abdullah Mason, and because it's so many, man. I want to squeeze my boy Wayne Bam Bam in there because that's my dog. It's a lot of them, man. Who would I put in? I'm gonna put Montana in. I'm gonna put Montana in 5.
Montana.
I'm gonna put Montana in 5. But it's a lot of them. Isaiah Sting is so hard, but those are the 5 I would just put up top and then everybody else. But
yeah, you said Big Baby too.
yeah, Jared Anderson.
Yeah, Jared. Okay.
But
So,
yeah, you got a question for Alicia? Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, man, cause I don't got only person that I talked to maybe that got Alicia winning, and Alicia probably the only one that I can say I knew her before. I didn't know about her because of you. Cause she just bad, you know. I'm on IG, and she, I'm like, what? Man, she got them hands too.
Yeah.
Now, I seen her, and before she fought Harper and knocked her ass out, because I told everybody she was gonna knock her ass out. Alicia was coming off that ACL or MCL, whatever. She coming off that surgery. She had to fight, beat old girl up. Then she got that Harper fight. I'm telling people, bruh, she gonna beat this girl ass, bruh. She gonna go to UK, beat her. Boom, knocked her out standing up. That's like knockout of the year. You know what I mean? Everybody like, hey man, yeah, Q, you told me. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? So they ain't really looking at that in the Michaela fight. You know, Michaela, she a good step up. They're unifying. You know, she got the belts, and then I think one more belt left. You know, for him to be undisputed. How do you think that fight gonna play out? How do you see that fight with Alicia and Michaela going? You know, and then tell me what you think about the Marshall and Clarissa Shields fight too.
Yeah. Well, first of all, yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Alicia, but I'm gonna be realistic. I understand why Michaela is favorite. Let's just be honest. The girl can box and she can fight on the inside.
Amateur.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. She has a great amateur background pedigree, man. So yeah, she's just ain't.
And who her trainer again?
Who? Malik.
Michaela.
I forgot who her trainer is. But she's good. The point of style wise, this is gonna be an interesting thing to see what Michaela brings. If she's gonna dictate the fight against Alicia. I don't know if Alicia is she gonna be trying to counter off what Michaela does. You know what I mean? She has to be first in this fight. So when it comes to hand speed, I think that's even. I can't sit there and say Alicia is faster. You know, Michaela got some nice little work too, man. Her speed, but I think it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to work rate. I think Michaela is gonna come. It's gonna box, and then it's gonna get real physical. And but Michaela is definitely favored in this fight. I'm rooting for Alicia. I'm Ohio, but I'm just a realist. You know what I'm saying? So it's no coincidence that everybody have Michaela favored in this fight.
Man, I like Michaela, bro, but what I see about Michaela, and that's gonna be hard for her when she fight Alicia, bro. Alicia move way better. I like the combinations, the variation of the combinations way better. Michaela throw a lot of the straight punches. You know what I mean? She pretty much just a 1-2 type of girl. You know, I think Alicia just put them more together, the hooks, body work, and then she can work on her toes and move around. Michaela more flat-footed. She is strong. She do got that Olympic background. That man, I hate that her coach slipping my mind because she got a good ass coach too. But I just don't,
Alicia,
I don't
I
know.
see what you're saying. Alicia hit you with 1-2s as well, and she knows how to turn. But
And
it's
that
just
defense, she just
right. Yeah, she has that. But this the thing. It's been our Midwest, our Ohio kryptonite. When people start to throw more punches and volume, we want to take a good look at our work. We want to throw 1-2. We become the Adrien Broners, the Terrell Gouchers, the Victor Tonys. You just said.
admiring the work.
Absolutely. We have to get out of that. And I think our amateurs now coming up are starting to see that. They have to throw more just punches. You can't just be so slick. We look nice in the ring. We glittering. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta actually put in the work too. And I think Alicia falls into that midway. She's living in Detroit now. And to clear that up, a lot of people think she's from Detroit. No, she's from Fremont. She's from Fremont, Ohio, but she's in Detroit. Detroit is like family to us anyway. But yeah, she's from Fremont, Ohio.
She trained by Tony Harrison brother, right?
Yep, LJ. Shout out to him. That's my homie, man.
Mm-hmm. And man, so just admiring the work and all that brings me to the Duke Reagan performance. What did you think about that performance?
So crazy. I did not see that fight. I got home late.
Yeah.
But hold on. I seen highlights. I got the last of it. I got where it came to the decision, and I'm like, "Ooh, he got clipped." I said, "Oh, snaps! He got clipped." He needed to go through that. Duke needed to go through that. Some experience, man. I heard he was fighting an undefeated prospect. Undefeated fighter. That was good. He needed to go through that. Duke got dogged. I questioned it for a minute. But he showed that in the Olympics because he has moments where he turned on and off. He likes to do fights here and there. But from what I heard he stepped up and he really pushed through with the fight. But I'm gonna definitely go back because I got it. So I'm gonna go back and rewatch that fight. But he did get clipped, which means Olympians gonna get clipped. You can beat these fighters while they green now. That's what I tell these people when they start getting years behind them and start getting some experience. That's when you be like, "Whoa!" So y'all better take these fights now. All these fighters ducking on behind the scenes, they's dropping these fights. Y'all better fight them now because they get better. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit what Duke Reagan needed. He was just sliding through them guys. Like, granted, he ain't got number like 2 knockouts or whatever.
Right.
But he ain't lost no rounds up until, like, I guess if you want to argue that he lost some rounds in this last fight.
Right.
But them I think like 4, 6 or some shit like that, bro. He ain't lose none of them rounds. Just boxing clean. And I think even with him just getting clipped in that little exchange, in that little segment, he actually had hurt the guy and he bagged up and and when you said admire your work, that's kind of like what he was doing. He was in there. He could have let his hands go a little bit more and stayed because he had both hands up and was defensively sound, but he got caught right there at the tip of his head and kind of threw him off, and he got hit with a body shot like later that he kind of bagged him off. It kind of bothered him, but other than that, like, man, he passed with flying colors, unanimous. It wasn't even like close like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just got touched a couple times, which is boxing, bro. That's gonna happen, especially when you stepping up. And Duke's still young, but he's in one of them divisions where he can make a name very quickly and like be fighting for a title sometime soon. You got Navarrete with Lee Wood. What's his name? Leo Santa Cruz and Ray Vargas, or what is his name? Ray Vargas, right?
Yeah. You got a couple.
Yeah, you got them. So I think he can make a name pretty quickly, man. Other guys you got coming up in that, man. Who ain't Shushu at 126 or he 130?
Yeah, I think he 130. I think Shushu 130.
Yeah, he might be 130, but I know Robisi Ramirez. He down there.
It's a nice class. It's a nice weight class to come up in, man. So he got some real ones in that weight class. But.
And Robisi fought at a higher weight than him in the amateurs, right? But they didn't fight. Did Robisi? Okay, Duke Reagan was in the Rios, right? He went to the Rio Olympics.
Yeah.
And Robisi won at a higher the weight class higher than that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and now they fighting. So yeah, I think shoot that they might be a good man. Maybe unification. They build their name. I see
Oh
Lil
yeah,
Boosie
they
kind of
definitely
build
gonna
this name up
listen.
right now.
They're definitely gonna do that. Top Rankers gonna do the same
Hmm.
thing. PBC did. They got they got their fighters. They're gonna build them up. We're gonna fall in love with what we see on TV, and then the fights are they're gonna start putting them together, and we're gonna be like bomb, 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 and we're not gonna
Hmm.
complain because we have invested in watching these guys. That's the same
Hmm.
thing I said about Deontay Wilder. I don't know if you saw me. I said Deontay Wilder punching power should never be seen on free TV again.
Yeah, I seen that shit.
I said, like, why? Why do we have to see him on free TV again? No, well, this fight in the pay-per-view, I get that. I'm not saying I'm not even disagreeing with y'all. But what he has did entertaining us, that is on pay-per-view. We
Hmm.
got that for almost 35 fights or close to 40 fights without paying. I mean, we had,
Yeah.
minimum with the cable Showtime, but you get what I'm saying. But we got entertainment. Why is it okay? Why is it a problem if they put in that entertainment? We ain't gonna see no puncher like him again. It's gonna be a long time. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is you when you got something like that, man, shoot, charge. I'm a
Hmm.
supporter. Of course, people gonna stream it anyway. But it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, it's a few fighters like that too, man. And before we get out, because I know you busy, man, and but so just before you go out, just let me know, like what are some fights that you looking forward to be made this year and next year,
Mm-hmm.
possibly to be made.
Whew. Let me start this one. I think we definitely want the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence to be made this year. Another fight, Jamal Charlo. Not Jamel. Jamal. Who are you gonna fight, my brother? Like, come on, man. We ain't gonna be playing this everybody ducking you stuff, bro. You gotta act like you want some fights too. I would like to see Charlo at 168 against David Benavidez, PBC. Uh, I would like to see Demetrius Andrade come finally try to get a fight because they need each other.
That's the fight.
Charlo needs
That's the fight.
Demetrius. They need each
Mhm.
other, man. Y'all
They
need.
don't even know that shit. They like two. They like the two people in a relationship that they break up and they ain't together, and
Yeah,
they be going talking shit about each other. You be like, y'all two motherfuckers just need each other to get this shit on. This shit over with.
bro.
You
That's
know that
exactly what it
yeah.
is. They
That's
need
exactly what they
that
is,
fight
bro.
needs to be made. Arthur Beterbiev. I'd like to see him next year, and I, him and Bivol. After Bivol, I heard he was just mandatory with Ramirez. I would like to see him and Bivol next year. I think that's great fight for next year, man. Going into next year, two of those guys right there. Canelo don't even think about going up fighting no Arthur. You know what I mean? Don't even think about that. But I think
Don't think about 175 no
nah,
more.
not at all.
Like
Don't
the
even
the
think about.
guys, nah, you
He
don't want
needs to
none of that.
stay after he wins. I think Canelo needs to focus on.
Benavidez.
Yeah, he needs to focus on Benavidez. He needs to get that fight to shut up the. Especially if he beats Triple G in a great fashion and build his confidence. I think he could take on that. But I
Mhm.
would love to see that. It's a lot of man. So many fights that I can think of. That should Jerron Ennis, him stepping up. I would love to see Keith Thurman give him an opportunity next year where Keith ain't got no options as much, where he sit there and say, you know what, I'll take on the young bull. Uh, I love to see that. I respect it when Bernard did it, Manny
Mhm.
Pacquiao did it. Keith was starting to get up there. Give Enos, give him an opponent, man. We got to start passing this torch down a little bit when these guys get a little older, man.
They got to do what they got. They have
Yep,
somebody to pass the torch to them.
facts.
They need to do the same. That's what I was saying
Absolutely.
about Danny. Like that's why it's so crazy to me when people talk about like Bud. Like, bro, he never got to pass another torch fight. Everything he earned, he actually had to get out the muscle. He ain't had no goddamn
Eric
like
Morales.
no Eric Morales and no damn Petersons and
No,
no Zab Zudas. Like he didn't
no.
have none of that. And Earl was gonna get the Pacquiao fight.
Yep.
So it's like Terrence Crawford, the only one that ain't get that opportunity. So it's like that's what some of these fighters need to do, and in return, and even if you like look on the bright side, bro, if you win, we know you still got it. You know what I mean? If you lose, bro, like you can say we kind of expected it, but
Right.
yo, you got to prove us wrong.
It's a
Yeah.
good situation to be in when you like keep them. It really is. It's really a good situation because they're like, okay, he was on his way out. But look at Bernard. Look at Klitschko. He almost beat AJ. I mean,
Shit, look at
beat him.
Nonito Donaire.
Oh my God, yeah. So you still can. It's still fun fights, man, with these guys. So they got to get that to us, man. So
Hell,
but
even
yeah.
Rosado clipped back the bully.
Oh yeah, right, absolutely. Good comparison. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But man, I appreciate you for man sliding through, man, going live with me, bro.
Oh yeah, nothing but love, man. We're gonna have to do
Man,
this again. We're gonna definitely have to do this again with my busy schedule. I'll find some time.
yeah, most definitely, bro. If y'all don't know, boy, hey, Ohio run boxing, bro. Bruh, that boy work. He sent me his schedule. This was the only day I was gonna be able to get in, bro, for
Yeah.
like a week. That boy worked like a Mexican. We talking about. I'm like, bro, like I seen this schedule. I'm like, bro, how you do all that shit? I be seeing you on Facebook uploading this shit. You be at work doing that shit, like.
And I'm gonna
Bro.
tell you too, working like that keeps my mental, good, man. I don't smoke, drink, so sometimes I have to stay busy, man. I went through a situation, infidelity in my last relationship, so that's where that work, man, is trying to keep your mind come to an empty house. You just like look, focus on just doing you and keep your mind off that, man. So that's what that is, boxing and working, man. So and my 10-year-old I got, man. So that's all. But y'all can follow me on Facebook under Marcus Nall. You also can find my Facebook, Ohio Runs Boxing. I'm on IG under Ohio Run Boxing. I actually got a Twitter too, but I don't use that as much. I need to start using that. But yeah, y'all can find me easy, man. Ohio Runs Boxing.
Yeah. Man, appreciate you for coming through, man. I'm gonna shout out, man, some of the people that came through, supported. Man, Mr. Gumbo, he came through. Well, the boxing scholar, man, UGC Flame.
Yep,
Man,
Jimmy
you had,
Bedford.
yes, sir. You had a lot of people come through to holler at you, cause you was coming through Puro shit. Man, we had a couple people from Ohio slid through here too. I
Yeah,
seen
my
them
boy.
chatting.
Shout out Yamin. Yeah, that's my dog. I know he was on there. Shout out to Yamin, man. That's my
Yeah,
dog almost all the time.
facts. D Young, Marky Dan, man. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow him, man. Ohio Runs Boxing, Instagram, Ohio Runs Boxing Facebook page. That shit hilarious. Follow Marcus Nah, bro. Like his Facebook hilarious. The engagement crazy on there. So
Yeah,
like yeah,
it
it
is.
really go down. Like so, man. Make sure y'all follow that, man. Marky Dan, appreciate you. Ayo, Khaled, Butch. TJ, Blood Boxing, Ill
I
Status.
didn't know blood was in there. Shout out
Yeah,
to
man, blood slid through, man. Appreciate, yeah, man, all y'all mean, man. Thank y'all, man. We out. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all see this see this Roger Mayweather. And man, we gonna cut the tape, man. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank y'all.
Yeah.